Hey, this is Helana Black back again from digitalworldpublisher.com, and I am here to talk about how to build a personal brand. If you want to know who I am and what I do, basically I am a ghostwriter as well as an author coach and a book editor, and I help experts as well as professionals create a powerful personal brand as well as learn how to create a lasting legacy through writing a book. So, today we're talking about how to build a personal brand. First of all, what's a personal brand? A lot of people have that question. What's a personal brand? What does that even mean? Because when we start off with talking about a personal brand or a brand in general, we usually think about big name brands, right? So if you're thinking about laundry detergent, for example, when you think about laundry detergent, I always thinking about Tide, one big brand that comes to name. Fast food, I think about McDonald's. That's the first thing that pops into my head at least. Sneakers, Nike, Reebok, so on and so forth. These are all big name brands that most of us are quite familiar with, right? And they all have a reputation. They all have a reputation, and over time, they've been able to build a reputation through marketing, through experiences that they create, through people using their products, so on and so forth. And so, what is a personal brand? Well, it's the reputation that you build for yourself. So whether you know it or not, whether you've done it purposely or not, you have a personal brand. Now, I'm talking about more so in the professional sense, right? In the professional sense, whether you own your own business or you are a professional in the workplace, you have a personal brand. What are people saying about you and your work without you being there? So are you someone that is dependable? Do you get things done? Do you have a product or a service that does well for people? Or on the opposite end, are you always late? If people call you, do you return phone calls? Are you someone who's lazy? It can go either way, personal brand. You can have a positive personal brand or a negative personal brand. Okay, so what you want is a powerful personal brand that works for you. And so part of what I do through teaching people how to write a book is also learning how to be able to create a powerful personal brand that grows your reputation so that you can get things like growing your business, getting more clients. If you are a working professional and you want to be able to get those positions that are important to you. Maybe you want to be a C-suite professional. And maybe you want to move up higher in the ranks from wherever you are to the next rank in the corporate ladder or wherever it is that you're working. So yeah, personal branding, that's what we're talking about today. So, first couple of steps in learning how to build your personal brand is to, number one, is to analyze what it is that people are saying about you now versus what it is that you want them to be saying. I'll repeat that. With personal branding, one of the first things you want to look at is analyze what it is that people are saying about you now versus what it is that you want them to say about you. Now, this is super important. And when I think about this, I think about my own personal experience with creating my own personal brand. Now, before I got into the book business, I worked in nonprofits in higher education for about 15 years, doing a variety of things, mostly as a teacher and administering projects. In the beginning of my career, I was very quiet, very mousy, kind of sat in the background and did my work. However, I had a really great passion for we work with adult learners. So helping adults to be able to get the skills that they need to move forward with their lives. So that could be getting a job, it could be improving their reading and writing skills. It could be completing their GED. It could be moving on to college, all sorts of things. So I really had a great passion for this particular area of work that I was doing. And what I found was that as I was trying to move up the ladder, people weren't really paying attention to me. I really wasn't standing out as a top professional. And so what I did is I took one of my skills, which was writing, something that I love to do, and I started my own blog. It wasn't fancy, it wasn't professionally designed. I started off with something real basic. I think it was a free WordPress blog, and I just started writing short blog posts about what I was experiencing in my work, in the classroom, as well as working in combination with foundations and government organizations and so on and so forth, and just offering my opinions on what it is that I was experiencing and how it was affecting the students that I was working with. And what happened was that people started to take notice. They said, wow, Helana really knows a lot about adult education. I started getting invitations to do speaking, to do teaching. Lots of things started to happen. So my personal brand was growing because I was putting in purposeful work to be able to help it grow, right? So you really got to get into and figure out for yourself, what is your personal brand now versus what it is that you would like for people to say about you. So take some time to do that. That could take some time, a few hours to really sit down. You don't have to do it all at once. But sit down and really think with yourself. What are people saying about you now versus what it is that you would like them to do? Next thing you should do after that is to start cultivating experiences that build your reputation as an expert. I'll say it again. Cultivate experiences that build your reputation as an expert. So for me, what I did was I did the blog, as I just explained. And I was able to take a lot of those things that I was working with in the workplace, and I put that onto the blog, and I gave some critical analysis on what things were working, what was not working, so on and so forth. And people really drew to that. What other things that you can do is you can take an active role in professional groups. Emphasis on active role. It's not enough to just join a professional group, you go to the meeting, sit in the back and have a drink. You have to take an active role. Head up some committee, do some speaking engagements, put together, some groups, whatever it is that you'd like to do, but joining a professional group would really be a great way to be able to do that. You can do other forms of writing. Nowadays, you can write for other people's blogs, you can write articles on LinkedIn, you can do Medium articles, all sorts of things. Next, you can do speaking. There's always an opportunity for lunch and learns, perhaps at your job, lunch and learns at other professional groups. Just look for other opportunities for you to be able to speak so that people can get eyes on you. At this point, when you're just starting, when you're speaking, it may not be necessary for you to be doing a speaking engagement. Just have opportunities for you to be able to stand up and say who you are, where you're from, offer some sort of tips in general about what it is that you're doing, just so people can get their eyes on you. So yeah, those are 3 great ways for you to be able to do, to build your reputation. Next, you want to be able to create proof of your reputation. Create proof of your reputation. One of the really great things about blogging that I have found for me and for many other people that I work with is that having your work on the internet says a lot about who you are as a person. A lot of people don't do this. Getting on the internet and writing stuff, whether it's for your blog on LinkedIn or Medium, is a skill that is special. It says that you take the extra step in your professional reputation and learning how to do things so that people will pay attention to you. It says that you take initiative. Okay, and a lot of people they just don't care to do it, they don't want to do it, they don't know to do it. So, if you can find other ways to create proof of your reputation, whether you're doing an online portfolio that's appropriate to what it is that you do, you're blogging, if you're doing videos such as this, things that you can do in your home, on the weekends, in the morning, after work. You know, there's a ton of things that you can do. So create proof of your reputation. Next is to know your value in the marketplace. What does that mean? Knowing your value in the marketplace. Well, for most of us, we're building our personal reputation or building our personal brand because we want to get into things like consulting. We want to get into paid speaking opportunities. You may want to grow your business and get more clients. You may want to be able to get towards that next position that you want to be able to apply for. And all of those things have a dollar sign attached to it. And so you should be super clear on how the things that you are doing to grow your powerful personal brand are contributing and increasing your value in the marketplace. So know your value in the marketplace. And the last tip on growing a powerful personal brand is to invest in your own education. This is super important. Don't wait for your employer to pay for your education or for other opportunities for you to be able to travel, to be able to participate in conferences, to be able to go out and get books, to be able to just sit down and spend time. It doesn't always have to be something that's monetary or something that you have to spend money on. But just put some emphasis and thought into being around people or putting in your mind some of the people who have come before you who can offer you really great advice on how to be able to get ahead in whatever area of expertise you want to be able to grow in. Okay? So let's go back and review. I know that was a lot. How to build a powerful personal brand. Number one, you want to be able to analyze what people are saying about you now versus what it is that you would like for them to be saying about you. Next, you want to cultivate experiences that build your reputation as an expert. Next, you want to be able to create proof of your reputation, preferably using social media, but there are other ways that you can do that. Next, you want to know your value in the marketplace, know how much your expertise is worth, and then you want to take the initiative and invest in your own education. Okay, so that are just a few of my tips on how to build a powerful personal brand. If you want to know more about how you could use writing a book to be able to grow your personal brand, I'd love to be able to talk with you. I do consultations. You can email me at hello@digitalwellpublisher.com if you're interested in setting up an appointment. You can find me at digitalwellpublisher.com. If you have a question or a comment, you can also leave that below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Again, my name is Helana Black. I am a ghostwriter as well as an author coach and a book editor, and I am here to be able to help people build powerful brands as well as create a lasting legacy through writing a book. That's all I have for you today. I'll see you in the next video.